The Backward March, a 10-episode serial in salt and screaming. Episode 1, The Unwinding, Neobusan, 4021 ad. Reclamation District 7. The discharge papers tasted like burnt plastic. Corporal Chun, 9, ran his tongue over them anyway. The new civilian ID had been stapled to his sternum. It itched when it rained. They'd taken his rifle, his rank, and the serotonin dampeners. They left the targeting eye, property of the United Earth conglomerate, the med drone said. It deactivates in 10 years. Enjoy your retirement. It never blinked. It counted people in the crowd and assigned them threat values. Old women, 0.2. Children, 0.6. Himself, 9.8. Home was a 2x 2 meter habcube. The air recycler made a noise like his dead squad mate, Cho breathing through a chest wound. The nutrition dispenser, extruded protein loaf, 7B. It was gray. It was always gray. On night 6, Jun 9 woke up chewing his own forearm. There was no blood, just dreaming. He'd been dreaming of red. Red like his mother's hands on Chuseok. Red like the kimchi pots buried in the yard behind their old house in Andong. He could smell it, garlic rot life. Fermentation was banned in 4002. Uncontrolled bacterial growth constitutes bioterrorism. He stood on his balcony. The Pacific had been pushed back 3 km by seawall projects. The world was forward, forward, forward. Jun 9 turned around. He took one step backward. His targeting eye threw an error. Directional paradox. He took another. The error became a song. Corporal, his mandated PTSD therapist, drone buzzed behind him. You are exhibiting retrograde ambulation. This is classified as avoidance behavior and self-harm ideation. Jun 9 didn't answer. He was listening to the past. It sounded like cabbage being torn. I'm not going back, he whispered. I'm going back properly. He started walking backwards toward the DMZ, toward where the peninsula still remembered being whole. Maybe if I face where I've been, it will give me back my mouth. Episode 2, The First Heel. Day 3, Glimmer Highway, former Gyeongbu Expressway. Walking backwards on a maglev freight corridor is how you volunteer for obliteration. The trucks run on AI and don't recognize human if the human is inverted. Jun 9 calves were hamburger. His heel had worn through the boot. He navigated by sound. and by the targeting eye's threat map, which now rendered the entire world in reverse. Cars approached from behind him, which was in front. He collapsed at kilometer marker 88. He woke to the smell of something. Not kimchi. Grease. Old animal grease. "Shit, you're not dead," said a voice. She was maybe 20. Grease tattoo sleeves. No shadow, literally. Her body didn't cast one. Null shadows were a birth defect from the cobalt winter. "My name's Mira. This is my cart." The cart was a converted drone husk with a propane burner. It served noodle-adjacent product. "Why are you reverse speed running the highway?" she asked, dumping water on his face. John 9 tried to explain kimchi. The word felt like broken glass. "It's red. My mother buried it. It was alive." Mira stared. Then she dug under her cart and pulled out a clay jar. Black market stuff from the Dead Sea flats. Salt. She poured some into his hand. Coarse. Pink. It bit his tongue. He sobbed. It was the first taste he'd had in 10 years that wasn't gray. Ingredient 1. Brine salt, harvested where oceans used to be. "Why backwards?" Mira asked. "The war only goes one way." "I'm unspooling it." A truck screamed past. Mira grabbed his collar. "You'll die out here. Then I'll die facing something real." She was quiet for a long time. Then she kicked her cart into reverse. It whined. "Fuck it," she said. "My business model is dying anyway. Forward is overrated." End of episode 2. 2 shadows, one of them missing, walking the wrong way down the world. Episode 3, The Flashback Garden. Day 14, The Ruins of Gyeongju. PTSD doesn't give you flashbacks. It gives you overrides. The present gets deleted, and the past installs itself. Jun 9 came in the bombed-out Palace District. 1 second, he was walking backwards through rubble. The next, he was 22 again, in the Silicate War, second siege of Daegu. His squad was there. Cho, Sergeant Park, Little Kim, who was 40, but everyone called Little, except they were made of napa cabbage, layers of leaves, peeled and bleeding water. Sergeant Park's face sloughed off in sheets. "Stay awake, Jun 9, the cabbage said with Cho's voice. "You're desynchronizing from consensus reality." The cabbage Cho raised a cabbage rifle. "The enemy is inside the perimeter." The enemy was Jun 9. He started screaming. He pulled his service pistol. They let him keep it for personal safety and put it in his mouth. Mira tackled him. The gun went off. The shot walked backwards into the barrel. He was biting his tongue. Real blood this time. Real red. And under the blood, ginger. A bot rolled out from a crater. Hydroponics unit, Case 7. Declared rogue in 4015. It was growing illegal rhizomes in war water. It scanned Mira. Farmer detected. Dispensing yield. It dumped a kilo of fresh ginger into her noodle cart. Ingredient 2, ginger grown from more water. For scaring ghosts, Jun 9 was laughing and crying. My grandmother, she said ginger makes the dead cough, so you know they are there. Mira looked at the cabbage on the ground. It wasn't cabbage. It was just trash, but it was wet. Hey, soldier, she said. What ghosts are we scaring? Jun 9 touched his targeting eye. It was displaying 9.8. All of them. Episode 4, The Red Chapel. Day 29. The Magnesium Church, former Ulsan. The church was built from melted tanks. The pews were missile casings. The priest had no skin. Brother Alkali was Silicate War chaplain, 3rd Battalion. His skin had been burned off at Songnam. The medics replaced it with bioluminescent moss. It pulsed blue when he prayed, red when he lied. He was currently red. Backward is the only honest prayer, he told them, while Mira tried to fix her cart. God is walking away from us. The devout follow. Jun 9 knelt. The moss pulsed. Do you know what kimchi is? Brother Alkali's moss went black. I buried a child in a kimchi pot. 4011. We ran out of coffins. He opened a reliquary. Inside, red powder. It smelled like degustation after the gas. Jun 9 targeting eye screamed. Warning. Capsicum variant K9. Neurotoxin. Mucosal memory agent. Ingredient 3. Gochugaru. The kind that remembers being a bomb. Why do you have this? Mira asked. For the sacrament, Brother Alkali said. He dipped his finger in, touched Jun 9 tongue. Jun 9 saw the child. He saw the pot. He saw himself 10 years ago, nailing the lid shut because the sound of the dying was bad for morale. He vomited. The vomit was red. Brother Alkali packed his moss into a bag. The powder says, I should go with you. His moss was pulsing red. It had never been so bright. End of episode 4. 3 now. All walking backwards. All tasting ghosts. Episode 5. The Sea That Wasn't. Day 41. The drained East Sea Basin. They lowered themselves into the sea that wasn't there anymore. The seabed was a desert of salt, ship bones, and fiber optic cables that still twitched. Jun 9 slept. First time since discharge. No flashbacks. The targeting eye said, elevation, minus 200 m. Threat context, null. The sea couldn't find him here. He dreamed of his mother. She was burying a kimchi pot in the yard. Press it down, Junna, she said. Anger makes it sour. Grief makes it deep. What are you feeling? Nothing, Dream Jun 9 said. Then it will taste like nothing, she said. And the pot became his head. He woke up to Mira, shaking him. We found something. She and Brother Alkali had been digging. The salt was soft. They hit metal, a stasis pod, military surplus. Inside, packed in ice that wasn't ice. Shrimp. small, pink, salted. One of them moved. Ingredient 4, Silicate, salted shrimp that refused to die. Jun 9 picked one up. It looked at him. It had Cho's eyes. He put it in his mouth. It tasted like the day Cho died. It tasted like not pulling him out of the fire, because orders were orders. Jun 9 wept. The shrimp wept. The sound was identical. Brother Alkali made the sign of the cross. His moss turned white. Why are we collecting these? Mira asked. Jun 9 couldn't answer. His mouth was full of the past. Episode 6, The Napa Mimic. Day 58, The Soul Scar. Soul had been hit with a biobomb in 19. It didn't kill people. It made plants think they were people. The farm was run by General E. UEC retired. He had no medals. He had a greenhouse full of cabbage that grew in the shape of human organs. One head of Napa was a perfect replica of Jun 9 face. Eat yourself, the general said. He was watering it with tears. That's the only way to forgive. Jun 9 knelt. He bit. The cabbage screamed with his mother's voice. Junna, why did you stop writing? He tore away. The bite mark on the cabbage was bleeding. Mira and Brother Alkali burned the greenhouse. The ash was warm. In the ash, seeds. Black, heavy seeds that ticked like Geiger counters. Ingredient 5, bichu. Cabbage that dreams of being people. The general watched his life's work burn. He picked up a seed. I want to see what happens if we plant it. He joined them. For now, the cabbage with Jun 9 face kept screaming long after they left. End of episode 6. The pilgrimage grows. The ingredients are collecting them. Episode 7. The Garlic Protocol. Day 70. Null Zone outside Dejian. Garlic was Schedule 1. Disrupts neural implants. Causes emergent empathy. Threat to productivity. The child found them. She was maybe 6, maybe 60. Radiation does that. She had no hair, no eyebrows, and a lunchbox from 3980. Inside, 3 bulbs of garlic. Real, white, papery. She held out her hand. Brother Alkali understood. He peeled off a strip of his moss skin and traded it. The moss writhed in her hand and went quiet. Jun 9 peeled a clove. The smell hit his targeting eye, and it blue-screened for 0.4 seconds. Memory frag found. 4001/Kim/Jun 9/age 8. Back, he was 8. His father was pressing cabbage into a jar. Press hard, son. Anger makes it sour. Grief makes it deep. What do you feel? I'm scared you'll leave, little Jun 9 said. His father didn't answer. He just pressed harder. Ingredient 6, garlic. Memory key. Banned by the future. The child took Mira's hand. She didn't speak, but she started walking backwards. She was better at it than any of them, like she'd been born in reverse. End of episode 7. 5. The child makes it worse. Episode 8. The gut of the city. Day 81. Under Old Degian, the sewers had achieved sentience in 4010. Now they digested the city. They called themselves the gut. The gut liked the pilgrimage. It thought they were prayer. They crawled for 4 days. The wells were warm. They sweated fish thaws. The air tasted like low tide and confessions. Jun 9, PTSD, became theological. He started screaming at the pipes. I killed a kid. He was holding a cabbage. Or was the cabbage holding a kid? Which one was real? The gut listened. It gurgled. It vomited. A glass jar came tumbling through the sludge. No label. Inside, black liquid thick as oil. Jun 9I identified it before it shorted out. Mayalsi hiikjiat. Anchovy fish sauce. Fermentation date 3988. Ingredient 7. Mayalchiikjiat. The city's confession. Mira opened it. The smell was every regret in the peninsula. They each drank a sip. Brother Alkali saw the child he buried. The general saw the farm. Mira saw her parents, who sold her for a water ration. The child just nodded. Jun 9 saw his mother's kimchi pot. It was empty. I forgot the recipe, he whispered. The gut squeezed them out into daylight. It was done with them. Episode 9. The Spinal Library. Day 99. The DMZ. The DMZ had won. After the war, no one could agree who owned it, so it owned itself. It grew. It was a forest now, but the trees were spinal cords. Millions of them, from every dead soldier, wired together at the base. They hummed. They transmitted. The whole forest was dreaming the war forever. The child spoke for the first time. Her voice was old. Here, she pointed at a spine. It was tagged in bone. Kimchi. Jun 9 took his service knife. The general held the spine. Mira and brother Alkali prayed. They cut. Inside wasn't marrow. It was a scroll. Not paper. Not data. It was written in enzymes, in prions, in taste. To read it, you had to walk away from it. The closer you got, the more it blurred. Jun 9 understood. He turned his back and walked. Backwards, and he could read it. It was a recipe, but also an apology, but also a command. The ingredients are not for the kimchi. The kimchi is for the ingredients. You were the jar. His targeting eye powered down for the first time. The error log said, "Mission complete." For the first time, he smelled red, and it wasn't blood. End of episode 9. The library was his spine. The recipe was his body. Episode 10. The first bite. Day 100. The edge of the world. They made it in the shadow of the spinal trees. The ground was white with bone dust. 5 people. 1 was a child. 1 was a soldier. 1 was a cook. One was a priest. One was a sinner. They had a basin made from a helmet. They had salt from the Dead Sea, shrimp that remembered, cabbage that dreamed, garlic that unlocked, pepper that accused, fish sauce that confessed. Jun 9 quartered the nappa. His hands knew the motion. His father's hands overlaid on his. Anger makes it sour, he said. I'm not angry, Mira said, and salted it. Grief makes it deep, Brother Alkali said, and bled moss into the paste. The general pressed the leaves. Forgiveness makes it. I don't know. I never tasted it. The child hummed. The spines hummed back. They packed it into the helmet. They buried it under the DMZ. Under the war, the PTSD drone found them. Corporal, your therapy is incomplete. You must face forward to heal. Jun 9 looked at it. Really looked. Wrong, he said. I had to face backward to find it. He crushed the drone with his boot. 30 days later, they dug it up. It was warm. It was breathing. It smelled like his mother's yard in winter, like the world before it went gray. They ate. Mira tasted her parents and forgave them. Brother Alkali tasted the child and buried him properly. The general tasted his farm and let it go. The child tasted nothing and smiled. Jun 9 tasted his 8th birthday. He tasted his mother saying, Jana, eat. For 1 second, the war was not in the room. For 1 second, his targeting eye was just an eye. Then he turned around. He walked forward. 1 step, then another. Behind him, the kimchi pot screamed. It was his voice. The voice he used to give orders. The voice he used to beg for his life. The voice he used when Cho died. It had always been his voice. The child took his hand. Again, she said. Jun 9 looked at the path ahead. It was empty. It was gray. It was forward. No, he said. We carry it now. And the recipe from the spinal library. To undo what was done. Ferment what was lost. Yield 1 peninsula. Or 1 person. Depends who's eating. Gathered backwards, assembled awake. 1 head Napa cabbage bichu. Must have dreamed of being you. Quarter it. 1/2 cup course brining salt. From where the ocean quit. Make a brine. Drown the cabbage 2 to 3 HRS. Rinse until it stops crying. Porridge of ghosts. 2 tablespoon glutinous rice flour plus 1 cup water. Boil. Cool. This binds the dead to the living. The war paste to the cooled porridge add. 1/3 cup gochugaru. The kind that remembers degustation. 6 cloves garlic. Minced memory keys. 2 tablespoon ginger. Grated to make the ghosts cough. 3 tablespoon seiyujiat. Salted shrimp. The ones that still move. 2 tablespoon mayalchiikjiat. Fish sauce. The city's confession. 1 Asian pear. Grated sweetness from before. The buried. 1 Korean radish julienned. 4 scallions chopped. Mix into paste. The apology. Take each cabbage leaf. Spread the paste. Press. You are saying sorry to every layer of yourself. The burial. Pack tight into a jar. Leave no air. Air is for the living. Seal. The vigil. Sit on counter 1 to 2 days. It will hiss. It will get hot. That's the war leaving. Then refrigerate. To serve, eat it facing yesterday. If you hear screaming, you're doing it right. If you stop hearing the screaming, you're healing. If you are the screaming, you're the kimchi now. Warning, do not feed to drones. Do not feed to governments. Do not feed to anyone who thinks forward is the only direction.